Hello everyone, welcome back to our scenes. So today we are going to go through the part 3 for acid, bases and salts, important questions. This part being the last part for this chapter. So I have pretty much covered all the other concepts, related questions which has not yet appeared so far in the question papers, and this particular questions are from different sources, so definitely it's going to be of help. So let's get started. The first question here: tooth decay starts if the pH of mouth falls below. So the answer is 5.5. When the pH falls below 5.5, our tooth decay starts. Second question: the group of compounds that will dissociate partially in aqueous solution. So here we have got options. I have given you options here. So in the first case it's HCl and HNO3. In the B option we have got carbonic acid and phosphoric acid. The third case HCl and again phosphoric acid. In the fourth case we have got copper sulfate solution and sugar solution. And the answer being B, carbonic acid and phosphoric acid. Since these are weak acids, hence this will not completely dissociate in a aqueous solution. Moving on to the third one: which of the following elements forms an acidic oxide? So we have got the following options: magnesium, manganese, phosphorus and aluminium. So in this case our answer is going to be magnesium. Moving on to the next question: name the acid present in ant sting. Okay, so this is the pretty much same for ant sting, bee sting and nettle leaves. So it's known as methanoic acid or formic acid, and the formula goes something like this: HCOOH. Next one: which gas is liberated when an acid reacts with a metal? A very common question which has been asked several times. So it's supposed to be hydrogen gas. Which is a stronger acid with pH 7 or with pH 1.5? Here again we should know that the pH value, when it is less, the acidic property is more. So hence compared to 7 and 1.5, the one with 1.5 will have more acidic nature. Hence this particular one will be the acid. Next, how is the concentration of hydronium ions? Hydronium ions is nothing but H3O plus affected when a solution of an acid is diluted. Okay, so hydronium ion or H plus ion, whichever they ask, it's for acidic case. When a solution of an acid is diluted, the concentration of hydronium ions or H plus ions, whichever they have asked you, per volume will start to decrease. Since the water volume will be more, the H plus ions or hydronium ions concentration will start to decrease. Next, what is the effect of an increase of H plus ions in 1-MHCl or 1-M acetic acid solution? So 1-MHCl has higher concentration of H plus ions because when HCl dissolves in water, it will dissociate completely. The reason why it dissociates completely is HCl is a strong acid, and strong acids are the one which ionizes completely in aqueous solution. In the second case, where we have acetic acid, this is a weak acid. Hence, it will not dissociate completely in the water. So, this should be your answer. Next, what do you mean by pH, or how do you define pH? Okay, since definitions are important, so I thought it's better to include this one. So pH of a solution is a measure of H plus ion concentration in a solution. Lesser the pH, the more H plus ions concentration, and hence more acidic the solution. So in short, if I have to tell you, pH of a solution is nothing but you are measuring the amount of H plus or OH minus ion concentration. If your pH is low, that means H plus ion is more and it is acidic. So, and then you can just define for basic also. If your pH is high, your H plus ion concentration is low and the solution is supposed to be basic. It's up to you. I have just given one case over here. Next, what is an alkali? Give two examples. Okay. So alkali is nothing but a base which is soluble in water. Such base which is soluble in water is known as an alkali. Okay. And the examples are sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide. So many to mention. We have mentioned two over here. Next, write one word for the following. Water soluble base. Okay. So water soluble base is nothing but alkali. Next, substance which dissociate on dissolving in water to produce H plus ions. So it is supposed to be an acid. Okay, an acid is the one which dissociates into H plus and a negative ion respectively depending upon the type of acid which is added. Next question. One word for reaction between an acid and a base, and the answer is supposed to be neutralization reaction. When an acid reacts with a base, such kind of reaction is known as neutralization reaction. The fourth one, substance which dissociates on dissolving in water to produce OH minus ions. So if at all, when this particular substance is added to water, it is going to split into OH minus ion and a positive ion respectively. So OH minus ions are given by only bases. Hence the answer is supposed to be a base. Next. Completely different question now. 12th one. Explain why an aqueous solution of sodium sulfate is neutral while that of sodium carbonate is basic in nature. So we have to tell why sodium sulfate is a neutral salt whereas sodium carbonate is a basic salt. So the answer goes something like this. Sodium sulfate is a neutral salt because it is made from strong acid and a strong base. Okay, so the acid being sulfuric acid and the base being sodium hydroxide. While sodium carbonate is a basic salt because it is made from a strong base and a weak acid. Since the base is strong, the particular salt will have slight basicity in it. So the base over here is sodium hydroxide whereas the acid is carbonic acid. Now, moving on to the next question. Okay, the 13th one. Illustrate an example to show that liberation of hydrogen gas when an acid reacts with a metal. How will you how will you test the presence of this gas? Okay, so the best here is your zinc granules experiment. When zinc granules or zinc pieces reacts with dilute HCl or dilute sulfuric acid, any one could be preferred, a colorless gas is evolved. This gas which is evolved, we will pass it through soap solution. So whatever soap bubbles will be generated, these bubbles are subjected to a candle light and you are going to hear a pop sound. The bubbles are going to burst with a kind of, a little crack, or should I say a fire crack like, and you're going to hear a pop sound. So this proves that the given gas was, or the gas which was evolved during this experiment is a hydrogen gas. Next question. What is the change in pH value of milk when it changes into curd? Explain your answer. Okay, so here what is going to happen is pH will decrease. Okay, when a solution, the milk, when it turns to curd, its pH is going to decrease due to the formation of lactic acid. Okay, in curd lactic acid is found, hence the pH is going to decrease. Since acids have lower pH values, pH value decreases when milk changes to curd. Curd is acidic in nature and hence it will have a lower pH value. The acid present in curd is lactic acid. Next question. A knife used to cut a fruit was immediately dipped in blue litmus solution. If color of the solution changes to red, what inference can be drawn about the nature of the fruit and why? So what we are going to do is we are going to take a knife, we are going to cut a fruit. The fruit is anonymous over here. They have not mentioned which fruit it is. After cutting the fruit, the knife is immediately dipped in a blue litmus solution, a solution which contains blue litmus quantity. Now what you are going to observe is the blue color of the solution changes to red. So they are asking you what is the reason behind it. We have to tell the inference of it. So the inference is something like this. The fruit is acidic in nature. Since it is converting blue litmus into red color, hence it is acidic in nature. The fruit might be a citrus fruit or it may contain any of different acid, but definitely an acidic fruit. So this is the reason why when the traces of the acid is left on the knife, it is causing the blue litmus solution to turn red. Next question, 16th one. Write chemical equations that show aluminium oxide reacts with acid as well as a base. Since you know aluminium oxide is an amphoteric oxide, amphoteric oxides are those which react with both acids as well as bases. So we are going to show that. Okay, so this is the equation. So with acid, aluminium oxide along with HCl will give you aluminium chloride with water. So this is a salt and water. In case of base, aluminium oxide with sodium hydroxide, you are going to get sodium aluminium oxide along with water. So salt and water once again. Next question, 17th one. HCl and HNO3, that is hydrochloric acid and nitric acid, show acidic characters in aqueous solution, while alcohol and glucose solutions do not. Give reason. Okay. So as we all know, HCl and HNO3, they produce H plus ions in aqueous solutions, and since it is producing H plus ion, this is the reason why it will show acidic character. Now in case of alcohol and glucose, these both are covalent compounds, and since they are covalently bonded, the H plus ion is not at all formed. They cannot produce H plus ions. And this is the main reason why alcohol and glucose will not show acidic character, but HCl and HNO3, due to the production of H plus ions, will show acidic character. Moving on to the next question. Explain why sour substances like lemon, tamarind, etc. is used to clean tarnished surfaces of copper vessels. Okay, so lemon and tamarind, they contain citric acid and tartaric acid respectively. Lemon contains citric acid, whereas your tamarind contains tartaric acid. So these acids, whatever you are using acidic substances, they are going to react with the basic layer of copper carbonate. Copper carbonate is a basic layer which is formed around copper vessels. So what happens here is when these acidic substances react with this copper carbonate, you are going to get soluble salt which can be washed off easily. So it will leave behind a shiny surface. Next question. A builder selects marble flooring and tabletops for kitchen. Will you agree to this selection? Why? Okay, so it's very common nowadays to have marble, tabletops, and especially in, while building your kitchen and all. So is it actually convenient compared to, for your kitchen use for cooking purpose? The answer is no, because substances like vinegar, lemon, tamarind, etc., the acidic substances what we use in cooking, they, if at all accidentally fall on marble, they'll react and cause discoloration of the marble surface and it will lose its texture. So this is the reason why it is not preferred, but still we prefer. Next question. Suggest a method used for measuring pH value. Okay, so two methods I have given here. One is litmus paper and the other case might be a paper which is impregnated with universal indicator. That means it contains universal indicator on it, which will help you to give a proper different color for different pH solutions. So a litmus paper and a paper impregnated with universal indicator. Next, drinking excess of cold drink causes acidity. Explain. Okay, so see here, the reason why it is cold drinks, it contains carbon dioxide. So this carbon dioxide, when they dissolve in water, they form weak acids. Okay, this carbon dioxide, when it dissolves in water, the acid which is formed is carbonic acid. Okay, so when the consumption of cold drink is very high, it causes accumulation of carbonic acid in your stomach. So carbonic acid will start to accumulate in your stomach, and it will cause all the pain, irritation caused by acidity. Next, define universal indicator. So just a while back we have talked about universal indicator, paper impregnated with universal indicator. This is actually a liquid. So what is this we are going to see? So universal indicator is a mixture of many different indicators or dyes. Dye is nothing but a coloring agent which give different colors at different pH values of the entire pH scale. So at 1.0 you are going to get different, at 2.0 you are going to get different color, like that. So the color which are produced by universal indicator, it is used to find the pH value of an acid or a base by matching the color chart. You will have a separate color chart on the universal indicator which shows which color stands for what pH value. So using that, it's very easy, damn easy to find out the pH value. Next question. A given solution when tested with phenolphthalein gives pink color. What inference can be drawn? So phenolphthalein is actually an indicator. Okay, so here if at all it is giving you a pink color, that means the solution is basic in nature. If it gives you colorless color, it is acidic in nature in case of phenolphthalein. Okay, next, list some indicators to identify acids and bases. Okay, so these are the following indicators: litmus paper, methyl orange and phenolphthalein. Next, what are olfactory indicators? Give example. Olfactory, when the word comes, remember it is related to your nose. So we are talking about indicators which is identified based on their smell. So indicators whose odor, O-D-O-U-R, okay, odor changes with acid or base are called olfactory indicators. Examples are onion, vanilla, clove. Next question. Differentiate between the properties of acids and bases. Okay, so a very simple way. Acids and base, whenever you are writing differences, always remember to divide your page into two parts. I have not used a scale over here, but in your case, please do use a scale. So the first column is going to be for acids and the second is going to be for bases. In case of acids, it is sour to taste. Bases are bitter to taste. Acids have pH less than 7. Bases have more than 7. Acid change blue litmus to red, whereas bases change red litmus to blue. Acids produce H plus ions in water, whereas bases produce OH minus ions in water. Okay, it's for 2 marks. Next, which gas turns lime water milky? Write the equation. It's carbon dioxide. Okay, so carbon dioxide turns lime water milky, and the equation goes as follows. Calcium hydroxide plus carbon dioxide is going to give you CaCO3, calcium carbonate, and H2O. Next, curd or sour substances should not be stored in metal containers. Yes. So here we do not store because acid present in curd or sour substances react with metal and form toxic substances. Hence, curd or sour substances should not be stored in metal containers. It's strictly avoided. Next question. What is the pH of acid rain? Okay, so here normally students get a lot of confusion over here. Acid rain pH should be less than 5.6. You know, the normal rain, it should be 5.6. So normal rain is 5.6. Acid rain is below 5 or less than 5.6. Next, what are the advantages for a farmer to know about pH of soil? Okay, so see here, Here, knowing pH of soil helps them to know which type of crop is suitable to the soil. For every soil, all the crops are not suitable. Some might be favorable for rice, some might be favorable for other crops depending upon its pH value. Next, it helps them to use the type and quantity of fertilizer. It will also help them to decide what fertilizer is best for the soil and how much quantity, at what value you are supposed to add. Everything can be determined by knowing the pH level of the soil. Next one, why basic nature toothpaste should be used. Yes, toothpastes are basic nature only, but they have preferredly asked why we are using it to be bases. Teeth enamel gets degraded when pH of mouth becomes less than 5.5. So if at all the pH value falls below 5.5, your teeth enamel will start to degrade or it will start to corrode. So to avoid this, what we do is we use basic natured toothpaste so that our pH should be above 5.5. Next, name the acids present in the following: vinegar, tomato, citrus fruits, tamarinds, curds, etc. Okay, so in vinegar we do have acetic acid, in tomato we have got oxalic acid, in citrus fruits we have got citric acid. Citrus fruits, for example, lemon, oranges, etc. Tamarind have got tartaric acid, curd have got lactic acid, and the rest have got, nettle leaves, ant sting, bee sting have got formic acid or methanoic acid. Okay, so that was the last question. Okay, I have pretty much covered all the concepts over here. In case of doubt, just leave me a comment at the bottom and I'll get back to you. So the people who have been continuously requesting me for a PDF format of this, I'll be uploading the PDF format. I'll be giving the link, okay, soon as possible. Till then, please bear with me. Thank you.